The wolf is one of the most successful predators on the planet. But the golden eagle does not care about the reputation of this enemy. The bird is so strong that it can attack a wolf and take away its prey immediately after hunting. The golden eagle attacks the predator from above. Of course, a wolf is not a timid beast at all. He will fight back fiercely. Besides, he also surpasses the bird in mass and physical strength. But this golden eagle is a real champion in hand-to-hand combat. He spreads his huge wings over the wolf, hovers in the air, and strikes a series of powerful blows. The claws of the bird do not allow the wolf to reach him with his teeth. The reaction of the golden eagle is lightning fast. He hits accurately, and the wolf barely saves his eyes from the sharp blades of the bird's legs. As a result, the eagle successfully pushes back the enemy and takes away his rightful trophy, like some kind of air robber. But this wolf was unlucky. The eagle chose him as his prey. Of course, attacking a large predatory animal is very dangerous. But the eagle has an advantage. The laws of physics are on his side. When the bird crashes down on the wolf from the sky, the blow comes out so strong that the predator, weighing as much as an adult, did a somersault. The main weapon of these birds are their sharp, curved claws. Since birds don't need to walk much on their paws, the claws can grow much longer than those of mammals. Such huge crescent-shaped blades give the relatively thin and not very large fingers of a bird's paw a particularly sinister look. Don't you agree? The length of a large golden eagle's claw can be longer than the length of an adult male's fingers. The task of the claws is not only to inflict maximum damage, but also to keep the prey. This explains their specific shape, but can be viewed up close thanks to these rare frames. Although the fingers seem thin, they have tremendous strength. Therefore, the eagle can hold and even lift into the sky prey that exceeds its own strength. The coordination of the eagle's movements is amazing. The eagle can literally change the angle of the movement of the wings by several degrees in order to slow down, hover, or turn around in flight. And at the same time, to put forward their terrible claws to accurately hit their prey and grab it tighter than a pit bull with their jaws. And all this in a split second. The sharp curved beak of most representatives of this family of birds is quite short and wide. Therefore, they use this weapon not during the first attack, but after during the struggle. Eagles do not always deal with the prey after a fall. Sometimes they have to fight for a long time, and then the beak plays the role of a warhammer. The bird holds the victim with its claws and with its beak strikes precise blows at vulnerable places. But this arsenal still needs to be used correctly. First of all, daytime predators have supervision for this. It's worth mentioning right away. Their eyes have two special abilities. This is the ability to see far, for tens of miles, tens of kilometers, as well as the ability to accurately notice small objects and objects. An eagle can see a rabbit, despite the disguise of an eared rodent, even from the height of an airplane flight. But these birds do not have night vision, so they never hunt at night. The coyote tried to steal the eagle's food, but the eagle reacts instantly. Such jokes won't work with him. The eagle strikes powerful blows right on the face of the impudent dog. Sharp claws pierce near the eyes. Although serious injuries were avoided, the pain from these blows will be a lesson that the animal will remember for a lifetime. Unlike the feathers of waterfowl, the feathers of eagles get wet easily and quickly, after which the bird can no longer use them for flight. Therefore, going down to the water is a huge risk for them. Do you think that stopped the white-tailed eagle from hunting a goose right on the water? Of course not. The eagle attacks the enemy and from the force of the blow, plunges into the water almost by half. But the endurance of a bird of prey can only be envied. Although she starts to go to the bottom, the dry part of the wings is enough to keep her above water. The eagle even continues to fight and drown the goose. And then, with difficulty, but quite successfully, he pulls the prey to the shore, where he proceeds to dinner in front of every other shocked goose. And this waterfowl was able to give the eagle a worthy rebuff. Every time the predator made a turn and rushed at the victim again, the goose dived under the water and dodged the blow. The eagle lost strength faster because he had to maneuver vigorously, whereas the goose only needed to maintain concentration and make a short dive in time. But the patience of a predator is also a kind of weapon for victory. He was able to catch the goose at the very last moment. And instead of trying to drown the obnoxious opponent, he snatched him out of the water. It seems that the eagles have some kind of competition who will take more risks on the hunt. After all, this bird of prey did not just decide to catch prey right out of the water. She's targeting a sea snake. Yes, eagles generally like to hunt these legless reptiles. But in the water, the snake is much more maneuverable than on land. It is easier for it to turn around for a counterattack. And most importantly, it is the sea snake that is the most venomous in the world. She hunts fish. These creatures have a circulatory system so different from land animals that most poisons do not even work on them. The solution of the sea snake is to generate a toxin so strong that one drop of it could kill all the birds within a radius of hundreds of miles. But the eagle does not care about these risks. He relies on speed and wins. The bird was not only able to snatch the snake out of the water so quickly that the blow stunned the reptile and left it no chance to counterattack. The eagle also managed to see the head of the reptile at a great distance and attack it in order to block the jaws of the enemy with its claws. Everything is for the sake of posterity, because it is the chicks that the feathered fighter carries his prey. Sometimes the eagle's love of risk leads to curious cases, like this episode that occurred in the spring of 2022 on Vancouver Island. This predator was not afraid even to invade the territory of people. True, he attacked an ordinary goose, but this does not reduce the courage of the bird. The lightning attack ended unexpectedly. The owner of the goose ran out into the street and drove away the predator. To fight with a young mother who has a child in her arms is beneath the dignity of this noble predator. Well, or he just got cold feet. In any case, the goose was saved, but only thanks to the courage of the woman. It may seem that the eagles rely primarily on the main blow, and if they fight on the ground, then not for long. But this predator does not take endurance. It's not a problem for him to withstand a really long fight. He leaned on a powerful iguana, but the reptile's skin was too strong to be able to finish the hunt with one blow. However, the eagle gave up and grabbed the victim. As a result, the lizard tried to go somewhere into the thicket right with an eagle on side of its back. Do you know how long this struggle lasted? 5 hours. Of course, it wasn't too resource insensitive for an eagle, but still spending so much time clinging to a lizard. However, maybe for a bird it was an interesting attraction that improves the appetite? What do you think is the reason for such a love of birds of prey for risk? Don't forget to reply in the comments. Although daytime predators prefer to attack from the air, if necessary, they can continue a long battle already on the surface of the earth. Moreover, even the superiority of the enemy in brute force will not stop them. The predator rushes at the larger bird and strikes, but this is not enough. Then a fight ensues, which is sometimes similar to fencing. The birds try to maneuver, dodge, and the fight drags on. But the escape routes are blocked. The predator simply will not allow you to take off or escape. Therefore, the outcome of the battle is clear. Sometimes an eagle has to fly to find its prey. He can fly for hours over steppes or valleys looking for a victim to attack. But if a bird of prey finds a large gathering of animals, it will resemble some kind of feast. See how an eagle flies over a huge flock of flamingos. The predator clearly chooses the most delicious prey, and then hits the flamingo from above, just as the victim is trying to climb onto the wing. A well-aimed blow, and the pink bird crashed into the water. Then the eagle descends even lower and finishes her off. The white-headed feathered fights brutally and leaves the enemy no chance. This rare shooting is a spectacle as epic and frightening as it is beautiful. Leopards lead a solitary lifestyle and are usually happy to meet a relative only during the breeding season. But the boundaries of the territory still need to be established. Sometimes you have to use force to do this. This leopard decided that he could tear off a piece of his kinsman's hunting grounds and appropriate them for himself, but he underestimated the opponent. The other leopard turned out to be no less agile, large, and most importantly, fierce. The confrontation of these cats is especially impressive because you understand, this is not all graphics and not staging, but the real life of wild animals that show phenomenal strength in the struggle for survival. In a fight with each other, the leopard is able to show the whole arsenal of the coolest techniques. First of all, he uses powerful paw strikes. The leopard swoops down on the opponent and tries to overwhelm him, to subdue him. The blow turns into a fight. Each cat tries to avoid the bite of the enemy and at the same time, to reach the enemy with its own fangs. Predators understand each other's strength, so they try to act on this in a big way. They push each other off the slope, try to throw them into the thicket. In general, they do everything to gain an advantage, at least for 1 second. Then the leopard will be able to take advantage of the situation and defeat the enemy. If the battle turns into a close distance, leopards use not only their forelegs, but also their hind legs. They are a bit like domestic cats who arrange their fights. That's just leopards are several dozens times more massive, and every blow from a wild predator's paw leaves traces on the metal. It seems that these cats are real masters of martial arts. They move so fast that it is difficult to follow their movements. But when slowing down, real fighting techniques and feints become noticeable. It's like the leopards watched old movies with Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, and then decided to bring the coolest scenes into life. Just look at how the leopard jumps on the opponent to hit him with all 4 limbs at once. Having thrown off the enemy, he rushes at him again, but is already trying to reach him with his fangs. But the second cat does not remain in debt. It throws the aggressor through itself. Just like according to the textbook, you capture, roll in yourself, and a powerful push so that nobody flew over its back. What a reception. Interestingly enough, in a fight with a relative, the leopard demonstrates restraint and nobility. The exchange of blows ends with the cats stopping and dispersing. Then they come together again for a fight, but at the same time, they do not try to pounce on the opponent's back and grab at the throat. Pay attention, although leopards fight desperately, they do not use fighting techniques and do not even aim at each other's eyes. Yeah, they will fight for territory, but it seems that there are boundaries that these predators try not to cross, even in the fight with rivals. As a result, despite the fact that the leopards are fighting in full force, they are alive after the opponent's duel. Moreover, they even manage to avoid serious injuries. Worthy of respect, don't you agree? In the wild, there is serious competition between different types of cats. They compete with each other for food. Although each species has its own preferences in choosing prey, the menu of large predators is at least a little but the same. Lions are the most aggressive to rivals, but leopards do not miss an opportunity to drive a predator of another species from their territory, or even eat it. This leads to very dramatic events. For example, you can see what will happen if the lioness discovers the lair of leopards. While the mother hunts to bring food to the kittens, the babies are defenseless. They can only freeze in the hope that their camouflage color will save them. Unfortunately, it didn't help. The lioness found them. For them, leopard kittens are not relatives, but lunch. But if you think that a spotted predator remains in debt to such aggressors, then you don't really know their character at all. In general, the desire for revenge is considered a very complex emotion. In order to feel something like this, you need to be well aware of the cause and effect relationships and understanding the emotional damage that can be inflicted on the enemy. So many scientists are unlikely to agree that the leopard is capable of deliberate revenge. What do you think? After all, we don't know what the cat feels, but we do know the consequences of her actions. She is purposefully looking for a den of lions, and this despite the fact that the leopard is seriously at risk. Unlike her, lionesses live in groups and take care not only of their own babies, but also of the kittens of their sisters and cousins. Even if the mother is not near the cubs, chances are high that there will be other females there. But that doesn't stop the leopard. He finds the lion cubs and does with them the same thing that the lioness did with the leopard babies. Such is the vendetta. Two spotted African big cats, the cheetah and leopard, often feud. Although their coloring is similar, when these animals are standing next to each other, it is simply impossible to confuse them. The cheetah is a much slimmer and leaner animal. Relative to the size of the body, it has a small head and long paws. The spots are solid. Two solid black stripes run from the eyes to the mouth. An adult leopard is much larger. It has a powerful neck, larger jaws. The paws are shorter relative to the body, but stronger, and the spots have the appearance of empty sockets. Besides, these cats aren't even close relatives. The leopard refers to panthers, that is, to large cats. Its closest relatives are the lion, tiger, jaguar, and snow leopard. The cheetah, although slightly inferior to the leopard in body length, belongs to small cats, and its closest relative is, oddly enough, the American cougar. Cheetah is the fastest runner on the planet, which reaches a speed of about 70 miles per hour, 110 kilometers per hour. He sneaks up on his victim and then begins a short chase. Although the cheetah is not able to run for long at the peak of its capabilities, it manages to cover quite a long distance. It usually hunts in an open area where it is most convenient to run. The cheetah does not climb trees since its claws, for the sake of better grip at the ground, are retracted much worse than those of other cats. The leopard prefers ambushes and rarely chases prey. He relies on agility and strength, where the cheetah relies on speed. Therefore, in addition to differences in their favorite habitats, these cats also differ in taste preferences. Cheetahs hunt relatively small and fast ungulates, especially impalas. Although a cheetah can defeat a zebra or wildebeest, it is much more difficult to hunt such strong rivals. Leopards can hunt not only zebras, but also buffaloes. However, such a predator will be able to catch an impala only on condition that the first jump will be crowned with success. It seems that such different predators should not compete with each other. But in fact, they still intersect, and then a real competitive struggle can begin, against which the confrontation between Apple and Android will seem like a dispute in the sandbox. The leopard is waiting for the cheetah to do the same with him as the impala. Who are you rooting for? Do you hope that the cheetah will have time to dodge, or do you wish good luck to the leopard? One step, one more. The cheetah is unaware of the danger. Just a little more, and the leopard will pounce on its enemy, but the cheetah at the last moment manages to notice a larger cat and breaks into a run with lightning speed. The leopard realized that he was noticed and rushes in pursuit. His claws are about to hook and overwhelm the cheetah, but no. The fastest mammal on the planet justifies its chidal and escapes from the threat. As you understand, such cases are not uncommon. Therefore, it is not surprising that cheetahs are trying to deal with young leopards at the first opportunity. So to speak, they work for the future. After all, while the leopard is young and small, it will still be possible to cope with it. If he grows up, then not anymore. the victim and the stalker switched places. Only the cheetah underestimated the agility of the young leopard. He managed to turn right on the run in such a way that the faster predator flew past. The pursuit continued, but we know the ideal rescue option for a young leopard is to find a tree. In its crown, the cheetah will not be able to catch the enemy. Leopards are well-known loners, whereas cheetahs in recent decades have increasingly begun to unite into small groups and clans. What happens if one leopard meets two cheetahs on a narrow path? Something unexpected. You see how the leopard noticed that he was surrounded and immediately falls on his back. When two dogs compete, the weaker one lies down and shows the strong one his stomach. He gives up. But if you think that a leopard shows with a similar gesture that it obeys cheetahs, then you really underestimate this cruel and strong predator. In fact, lying on your back is a panther tactic in a battle with numerically superior enemy forces. Thus, the leopard is ready to fight off one cheetah with its front paws and the second with its hind paws. He is taking a risk because his stomach is really in a vulnerable position, but the cheetahs did not dare to attack. To run into the sharp, crescent-shaped claws of a leopard, how to get hit by dozens of daggers at the same time. Here, two cheetahs tracked down by a leopard. But they underestimated who they got in touch with. This is not a teenager, but an adult and experienced male. When the two cheetahs approached him, he showed no fear and continued calmly going about his business. The cheetahs clearly do not understand what is happening and are trying to come at him from both sides to attack. Well, it's your fault. The leopard turned around and was the first to go into battle against two cheetahs at once. That's when they realized what kind of trouble they were in. Only super speed saved them from a serious beating. There is another quality of the leopard that should not be underestimated. This is prudence. Here the leopard is attacked by a female cheetah. Actually, these are already adult animals, and the leopard has an advantage in pure physical strength. But he knows there is a cheetah's lair nearby where the kittens are. The leopard understands with what fury the female will fight for them and for her territory, so he retreats without a fight. A wise move. After all, even if the leopard had won, the unpredictable female would certainly have managed to injure him. Underestimate the cunning of the leopard is also not worth it. It turns out that this predator is capable of real multi-way plans. Look at him sneaking up on a herd of African buffaloes. The weight of individual mature males of these ungulates can reach a ton. The leopard is about 12 times lighter. The predator has almost no chance to cope with the horned aggressive giants, and even when there are so many of them, suddenly you notice a lion in the background. Do you think it's an accident? Or that the lion came to fight with its spotted cousin? No. In fact, it is just the lions that can cope with buffaloes. They cause panic in the herd and begin an epic chase. This is one of the few cases when males take an active part in hunting. Usually lionesses are engaged in foraging, as males have a large mane which prevents them from disguising themselves. But against giants like buffaloes or rhinos, their enormous strength is needed. And when the lion is noticed, it only plays into the pride's hands, so panic among the ungulates will begin faster. The predator's plan works, the buffaloes break forward, and the pursuit begins. The lions choose a weak individual to fight it off from the rest. But that's a completely different story. We are interested in what the leopard is doing in all this farce. It turned out that he took advantage of the situation to his advantage. The panic in the herd of buffaloes led to the fact that the young calf lagged behind his parents and decided to hide in the bushes. The lions didn't notice him there and got carried away hunting, but the leopard seemed to be deliberately looking for such a victim. In the dense thickets, he attacked a young bull and managed to bring him down, and to get to the throat. That's how the leopard practically used the lions to his advantage and was able to catch a calf that he would never have gotten to if he had been guarded by other bulls. How do you like such a multipass? When a whole group of adult bulls walks through the forest, they feel quite confident there. There are too many of them for a lone predator to dare to attack, and thickets from different sides will not allow hyenas or lions to surround a group of herbivores. Well, their confidence in their abilities was superfluous. They obviously didn't know who lived in the forest. The leopard is so brave that he can dare to attack a whole group of buffaloes. Each of the horned beasts far surpasses the leopard in strength and mass. However, they are all the more dangerous for a spotted predator, but he's attacking anyway. It looks like he has an adrenaline addiction. And although the buffaloes are escaping this time, sooner or later, the leopard will have time to strangle one of the ungulates, so they should change the route.